Adam, we're in the middle of a great run of form at the moment, coming off a big win there at the weekend. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, it's been good from the start of the season. I think it's been positive, obviously being in early start of December and stuff, so had a good pre-season and then kind of kept it going, kept it rolling, which is good. So everyone's in great form and confidence is high as you'd expect, so yeah, hopefully it keeps going.
What did you make of the game at the weekend? I mean, on paper it didn't look like the most difficult game of the five that we'd played, but the second half probably fared out that it was the biggest test that we got.
Yeah, I probably think it's probably one of the hardest games. I think if you really look at the five, I think the Rovers games, they're nearly not easy to get up for. I don't mean that in a bad. They're like, you don't need anyone to get you up for them. I think it's the games after the Rovers games. I think last year we kind of spoke about that. This year we need to treat every game equally and every game the same. Can't just get up for the big games and then take for granted. And that's no disrespect to Waterford, but games like that are probably more important than the game before. So it was about, you can't be turning up on a Friday against Rovers and play the way we did and then go up to Waterford and lose that game. Do you know what I mean? So it was a big kind of test, I think. And first half it was a completely different game than the second half. First half we were very good, start from the first minute, and then as you said, second half they went a bit more direct. We kind of didn't get to grips with the formation change, and that's what we've been looking at this week. If teams do with that, we can't kind of go under a little bit, because first half was very good, could have been 3 or 4-0, and then second half we made it a bit more difficult than we should have, to be fair.
Do you feel like that's the difference maybe this year? So second half they start putting the pressure on, and he takes the two wingers off, brings Sads and I can't remember who else on then to kind of tighten up in the midfield, and despite the fact they're kind of pumping the pressure on, you leave with the 3 points. Is that something that kind of maybe hasn't happened in the past that could be the difference this season?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's last year or the year before. We probably do draw that game or lose that game. Every team's going to put pressure on you. It's just about how you deal with teams that go direct. Every team in the league go direct, like the likes of Rovers play good football, but they went direct against us, and it's just about dealing with that and not kind of crumbling under the pressure, like long throws, stuff like that. It's a big factor now in football, not just in this league. So I think we dealt with it well enough. Like, we could have been a lot better on the ball. I think it was actually more us on the ball giving it away, and then them was countering rather than them kind of putting pressure on us. So that's something we looked at all this week. Stuff we need to get better at, and yeah, it's just kind of, it's learning every single week. It doesn't matter if you win 2-3-0, it can always be better.
We're obviously on this great run of form then at the moment as well, and we had that really good start in 2023. You were here for that, and do you have kind of a role to play now as someone who's been around and seen what can happen after a good start like this, where you have to kind of say to the younger lads or the newer lads to kind of play the role to be like, look, we can't get ahead of ourselves here, we still have 31 games to go in the season,
yeah, and 100%, you can't 5-6 games in, whatever, we can't be thinking too far ahead. We know what we spoke about in-house, about what we need to do this year and what realistically we should be doing as a club, and it was the same as last year. We had a decent year. We obviously made it a bit more difficult towards the end, but we got through in the end. We done what we had to do, and it's just about progressing and getting better as a team every year. And yeah, I'd say we look back at, obviously there's only a few lads that have been here that long, and there's only a few of us that can kind of go back to that, but it's a cliche, I actually hate to say it, but it is just Friday and Monday and just take a game at a time. You can't look too far ahead, because then if you do and it doesn't work out, you start thinking different things. So it's just about keeping the standards high, maintain your fitness, and at the same time enjoying being at a club like Bowes, enjoying the big games, all the fans, the atmosphere. You need to enjoy the moments, because when you retire and stuff, you look back and you don't want to get too big and kind of crumbling under the pressure. Do you know what I mean?
Can't have you looking at retirement just yet, Adam. You're only a baby. But no, look, I think, in my opinion, and I think a lot of fans would agree with me, that I think you're like kind of one of those secretly underrated players that kind of just goes about their business all the time, and have been an ever present now over the last number of seasons. And I think you could probably argue that midfield options we have the best midfield options arguably in the league, and that would be definitely our strongest position on the pitch. But yeah, you always seem to be there. You never drop out of a team. If you drop out for a week or two, you always come back in and prove your worth. Like, how do you find your football at the moment, and how do you stay motivated when you have all the competition around you?
I'm enjoying it now. Obviously, first couple of games didn't play. Obviously wasn't happy with it, but that's okay. It's football. It's just about, like, I'm 28 now. It's nearly 10-11 years I've been like playing at a good level. So it's, when you get little setbacks, it's not kind of throwing your toys out of the pram and sulk, and it's about, like, things will change quickly. If you do the right things outside football, stay positive, just be happy. Things will turn around, like, things will change, and then when you get in, you have to take a chance. because as you said, you know, if you don't, there's lads knocking on the door who aren't playing, and the quality around the group is unbelievable this year. It's definitely the best group we've had by a mile. There's no disrespect to the 3 years I've been before that, but yeah, it's just about kind of going out and, as I was trying to say, just enjoying the moment as well, looking around your family at every game and stuff like that, family watching. So it's not getting too worked up and kind of not enjoying. You need to enjoy that moment, yeah. So that's probably how I go about it, yeah.
And looking at the midfield options that we have as well, I think between yourself, Jordan, Niall, Dawson, it is almost none of you seem to play the same kind of role. So there is a lot of options throughout the team where you can play differently against different teams. It's interesting how the dynamics work at the moment.
Yeah, and then Sads as well. There's obviously a lot of different. Like the likes of Dawson can play probably 6, 8 and the 10, and then there's a few lads I played a little bit higher last year, like lefty, probably more energy wise, running in behind, but then I can do it. So I think everyone has kind of different attributes, which is good. And one thing we're good at here, I think, from the staff's point of view, is it doesn't matter if you win on a Friday night. If we play the 4-3-3, the following week a team plays a different formation, we'll change and kind of counteract that. It's not just the same rigid formation every single week, so you have to be ready and you have to be tactically switched on for that. So I think that suits the way. That's probably why we've signed the players we have, that every game's going to be different. It's going to be a different type of game, and we change formation probably every week, which is a good thing, and probably once or twice in a game. So it's all these things kind of matter, and I think it's a big factor of having a big squad and challenging them to be winning leagues. You need to be able to do that and switch it up and have different types of dynamics and different types of players, yeah.
When you're saying there yourself about playing that a little bit higher and having high energy, how eager are you to finally crack the goal to break the duck?
Talking about it. Well, I've actually, the lads are giving me a bit of stick. I probably should have 2 this year, definitely. The Derry game, and then Pats are probably, well, to be fair, Joe Redmond does well with the tackle, and then even Warford. No, I'm getting in better positions, but I need to be more clinical and do that. So the lads are giving me a bit of stick trying to spin it and make it positive, but I know myself what I have to do. I'll get there. I'll get there.
Well, you have 2 opportunities this weekend to do it, of course. 2 fixtures this weekend, the old League of Ireland Friday, Monday. A home game against Galway, and then obviously the difficult local rivalry down with Shelbourne after that. How are you feeling on to this weekend?
Yeah, very excited. I think they're great games. The League of Ireland, it's why it's good. Galway's going to be a complete different game than Monday, so you have to be ready for both, and that's what I mean with the squad here and stuff. It's going to be changes, which is good now. It's not like if someone comes in or someone goes out, it's going to be a big drop in quality. So Friday will be a completely different game to Monday, but we're looking forward to getting the Dalymount. The Rovers game was deadly. Like, the atmosphere is unbelievable, so it gets you excited going, playing at home. You need to kind of make it a fortress. I know everyone says that, but you kind of have to. It's probably the best club in the league for at the moment, going to Dalymount, so we need to enjoy that, and then obviously go on to Monday. But yeah, no, it's looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time, and best luck at the weekend.
Thank you.